Hello, welcome to Trig Identities Part 3. This is a problem. I actually got two of them we're going to do. For this one, we have to prove that one side equals the other. So we're going to cross multiply. That's the best way to do this. You'll see that in a second. I mean, you can't argue that that's the fastest way to do this. If I cross multiply here and here, what you're going to have on this side is cosine squared x. Let me just get rid of that. Equals 1 minus sine of x times 1 minus sine of x. Okay, real quick. That's this. That's 1 minus sine x times 1 plus sine x. And when you FOIL this, you will get 1 squared plus sine x minus sine x minus sine x squared. So this is 1 minus, because those cancel, sine x squared. Like that. So on this side, we can write that in, sine x squared. And then we remember the trig identity that says sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Well, if you think about what does cosine equal in that situation, if you subtract sine squared off of that or move that over to this side, cosine squared x equals 1 minus sine squared x, which is what that is. So essentially that equals cosine x, and this is cosine squared of x. Both are cosine squared of x. So that's the easy one of the day. Now let's do this tougher one. And here it is. Oh, look at that. It looks very harmless, doesn't it? Let's see what happens though. Let's see. First move, I'm going to leave the left side of this thing alone completely. And there may be more than one. Well, there's definitely more than one way to do this. There might be 10 ways to do it, but this is just how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to stay on the right side of this. And on top, I'm going to turn the cosecant into 1 over sine x times, and that's cosine. Now that's still on the top there. So that doesn't look like cosine. Cosine, that's not much better, of x. So I'll put that over 1 so that you know that that's going to turn into, on the next line, cosine x over sine x. Okay, I went ahead and went to the next step there, but that's just on top. On the bottom, tangent x plus cotangent of x. Tangent of x would be, and this is just how it occurred to me to do it. There's tangent of x plus, and the cotangent x is the reciprocal of this, so this is cosine x over sine x. That's cotangent. All right, so the problem is, when you go to the next thing, the next level of the answer, narrowing it down to the answer, I have to get common denominators of this problem that's on the bottom of this fraction. I have to get that done. So let's go ahead and do that. If you have two different denominators, we've seen this many, many times this week, what you do is multiply this fraction by this denominator on the top and bottom. So we multiply that by sine and this by sine. And over here, I multiply the top and bottom of this by cosine. So I got cosine. And what's going to happen is on the next layer of this problem, we're going to get closer to this answer. So here's my line. I'm going to have sine squared x. That's sine times sine there. Plus cosine times cosine on the top of this would be cosine squared x. And on the bottom, we have the same denominator, and I went ahead and just put it all over one big bar on the bottom. So this right here, let me go back to yellow. This is all one big bar there. So the blue stuff's on the bottom. And the bottom will be sine cosine x. Sine x cosine x. Okay. Next step. Let me start going down this way. So on the top, I'm not going to mess with this yet, is cosine x sine x over sine x. And on the bottom, right here, you got to spot this a mile away right there. That's 1. That's 1 over sine x cosine x. Now I'm almost done with this problem at this point, because what I have now is a compound fraction or a complex fraction, and I have this divided by this. Probably best to write this out. So cosine x over sine x divided by 1 over sine x cosine x. And then we got to flip this and multiply. So we rewrite the first one, basic rules of fractions. That is the killer on this. Times sine x cosine x all over 1. And this sign, this sign and this sign will cancel, leaving me, though, with that cosine of x there. So what's left over? It would be cosine x times cosine x. And that equals cosine squared of x, which is what we wanted it to be right there. So this side equals this side. I hope you enjoyed that one. That was really fun. I'll talk to you later. Bye.